Hi everyone, it's Amber, and we are finally going to participate in ABC April, which is a challenge from Crafty by Tony and Margaret at Seven Plaza. And the challenge is basically that they have specific days of the month. Excuse me while I take my bell off my cat. Yeah. Oh, you get to be color free for a minute, sweet girl. All right, no more jingle bells. So the challenge is one where they've assigned a letter to different days of the month of April, and you are supposed to work on something corresponding to that letter. And I am going to do the letter S with scraps of sticker paper. So that's 2 S's. So we have a whole bunch of pieces of sticker paper where I have printed some sort of printable. A lot of them are free from places like the Art Scavenger or people's Ko-Fis or things that I've bought off Etsy. But oftentimes when I cut things out from the printable, there's little scraps of paper left. And I think of these kind of like washi tape, right? They're not technically washi. I maybe have some washi type paper in here somewhere, but most of these are just basic sticker paper, printable sticker paper. This is the cat that had the bell. Hello, Sassy. And I am going to take the scraps of sticker paper and stamp on them and do things to them to turn them into long skinny stickers, which to me is essentially washi. Here, show the people your beautiful face. Yes. Can I put you down? Can you let me record? Let's do it. Let's try it. So I pulled a couple of stamps to start. But I'll probably pull out some more. And usually what I like to do is just take some pieces of the paper, some scraps here, scrapadoos, and line them up so that when I stamp, I can stamp across multiples at the same time, which I think creates some pretty interesting effects. And then I'm going to get out my ink. I'm primarily going to be using VersaFine. You can use whatever ink you have. I do think there's some benefit to using something that's not water soluble, like Distress ink, just so that you get an effect that's a little bit more stable when you're using it. I don't know where I'm gonna to use a lot of these scraps, so I don't necessarily want them to be water soluble, but use what you've got. Obviously, very much a use what you've got kind of person. I'm gonna grab the StazOn just because some of these are kind of shiny. StazOn does do a little bit better with stuff like that. And then I used some Delicata ink recently. Where did I put the ones that I already did? I made some of these so I could show you what it looks like, but I don't know where they've gone. So you'll just have to wait and see and live with the suspense. All right, I have some Tim Holtz stamps here. I got these secondhand, so I couldn't begin to tell you what number they are or anything like that. And I'm just gonna go ahead and get stamping. I am pretty relaxed about the application of this stuff, and I'm gonna never not covered in cat hair. So just taking, this is VersaFine Claire Very Peri. It's just a lovely little periwinkle blue. And I like to do some lighter colors to get started and sort of add background texture, and then from there add in the darker colors. And so this is what I mean about stamping across the different strips, because I think it's much more interesting when you do this than when you just try and stamp on one strip and keep everything sort of centered. This way, when you look at a strip, you get a lot more individual interest. And so I'm probably gonna just do one or two more of these stacks of tickets, clusters of tickets here. I hold down my script scraps, and I am one of those people who tends to sort of clean as I go. So let me grab out a baby wipe so I can wipe up my mess. Excuse the noise of the packaging. All right. So get that way I just don't end up with even more. I'm pretty messy as it is these days. I get stuff all over myself and all over everything else. And I do that no matter how hard I try not to. So I have learned to just try to clean as I go, and then at least I minimize the mess a little. All right, so we're gonna put that stamp up. And I'm gonna grab binder. This is all of most of my postagey stamps, which is kind of nice since we're doing these tickets here, and also my textury stamps. So just miscellaneous textures and backgroundy stuff. So I think this we'll use for the foreground. I want a little bit more background. I saw some text just a minute ago. There we go. So let's pull out this text stuff and grab, I like this one with the big splat on it. Let's grab that and put it on another acrylic block. And I'm gonna do a little bit more of the Very Perry. Hello, Sassy. I can tell that you are very attention oriented today. She's a good girl. She is still getting acclimated into the house with our other cats. Our other cats are not always nice to her. And so when I am recording, I will generally keep her in the room with me to avoid there being any cat scraps that I can't monitor. Hopefully we are towards the tail end of this process, because I'd like to be able to just kick her out when I'm recording. She loves to be loved and petted, and when she wants attention, she is not at all subtle about it, and that can make recording a challenge. All right, just stamp in all kinds of text. I like to do, you'll notice I'm going more than once before I add more ink, because I like the variety of ink saturation that I get when I do it this way. So do I want any more Very Perry? Yes, I just want it with a different stamp. Let me get the text put away. And what else do I want? Where, oh, there's my first class stamps right there in front of me. Oh, I like, this is like that little barcode that the post office stamps when they receive some mail you're sending. It will be very cool to have as some background texture. All right, I'm gonna put that one right there, straight on. That one right there, straight on, but nice and faint. This poor little brown strip doesn't have a whole lot on it. Oh, I like the way, I know I said I don't like to put things in the center, but I'm gonna do it for this one because I like the way that's looking. And I just think that makes sense for this particular little barcodey guy. I like that. That's nice. That's the best part about any of this stuff, is just trying things. It's basically all I do when I do art, all I do when I do junk journaling. Pretty much everything good that ever happens when I do art or journaling, or, well, I consider journaling art, it usually happens because I just try something and experiment and play around and do stuff that I would have never done with forethought. So we'll put the Perry up, and is it smudging? It's not smudging on the sticker paper. So I could use other colors, but I'm still gonna go ahead with my StazOn because I'm loyal and I'm committed. No, because it's out, and that's easy, and I feel like it. All right, which of these do I want first? I think this return to sender. Insufficient address. Let's start there. All right. Oh, see, I told you I get messy all the time. And I get stuff on me and then it gets everywhere else. Put that one down there. Ooh, nice. I like this already. That one here, but off the page again. There's just more interest to the eye when you do it that way than if it's all contained, right? So that is just the truth, and you can, if you disagree, that's fine, but I say try it and tell me I'm wrong, because I'm pretty sure I'm not. There we go, going across our strips. So now, oh, and I had those stacked in a funny way. Okay, let's try and do that again, because it looks real weird right now. There we are. That's proper. All right. Return to sender. And there we go. Use up that last bit of ink. Wipe it down. StazOn has a tendency to, unsurprisingly, stay on my little stamps more than other inks often do. I like this triangle stamp guy, so I'm gonna grab him next. All right. Again, I want it to go across multiple strips, so it's more interesting to me. And let's do this one upside down and sideways and all kinds of ways. Hi, Sassy. I love the little noises she makes. She announces herself when she jumps up. I know. She's very chatty catty. One of her many, many fantastic qualities. She's a snuggler, she's a lover, she's a talker, all the goodness. I mean, I love all cats of all kinds, even if they don't snuggle or talk. But it's nice to have one that just wants to be with you pretty much always. Ooh, there we go. I think these are coming together really nicely. Let me look at this one. I want to do more. I think we're good in terms of coverage. And then there are a couple of other things that I think make really nice finishing touches. So one is using some sort of like glittery or metallic to add a little extra. I don't love washi tape with stuff like foil, but I do like the metallic here. It's a little bit more understated, and it works for me in a way that some of the foil stuff doesn't. Oh, we've tried a different entry point. Here, come over here. You can hang out with me over here. Just so close. We're practically on top of each other. Now let's think, what would we like? Maybe this sort of flag stamp. And I'm just gonna get it on here, put it on over the top. And it's so faint, I'm not sure the camera is even gonna pick it up. But I like that. It's just the tiniest extra bit of interest on here that I think makes it look even more polished and finished. And this is just, it's gonna liven up any sort of journal or happy mail or whatever you decide to use your stickers on. It's just delightful. It's just delightful. The other thing I love splatter. I love every kind of splatter imaginable. So I will get up and go get my distress inks in a moment, or distress sprays, just so I can splatter stuff up. Sassy really does not want me to make this video today, does she? Oh, she wants to look out the window. Let me open up the curtain for you. There you go. There you go. All right. Does this one splatter? I am not sure it does. Kind of like these the way they, oh, I mean, just look at that on its own. Like, you wouldn't stamp it that way if you did a single strip, but then when you line them up and you get all of that sort of randomness, look at how pretty that is, right? So let me set that aside. Same here, this is some like craft paper sticker strip that I've got. This is a nice thick one now. And those are just nice. So let me wipe this up. I'm gonna go ahead and do some more stamping. And then I will finish this next set of strips using splatter. Okay, so we'll put those stamps aside. And all right, let me, so if you've followed my channel or if you look at other videos of mine at all, you will see that I am working on a series of artwork, eventually to turn into a sort of a journaling series. I'll use the art to create for Alice in Wonderland. And so I have some Alice related themed stamps. Hello. Oh, you sweet girl. Oh, you sweet girl. Yeah. Why are you on top of me? And I am going to go ahead and use those stamps now to make some sticker paper tape for that journal that I will eventually make. So I have things like these clocks and keys, which are very on theme, and cards, queen, king, suits. And I'm gonna play with those. Let me grab, let's do, what color do I want in the background? Actually gonna grab that periwinkle back out. There you go. Grab our periwinkle back out, and sand dune. No, not sand dune. Let's do morning mist, which is a lovely gray. And then I think we'll do the foreground in crimson red, unless I change my mind, which I do a lot. Okay, so I have another text stamp to start doing some backgrounds. And again, just across multiple strips at a time. Boop, 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 boop. And fully off the strips entirely. I'm gonna kick this cat out of here soon. But I don't want the other cats to be mean to her. Oh, she's chittering. She makes the best noises when she sees something outside that she wants to hunt. Okay, so I'm done with that text. And let's grab, I like the idea of using this diamond pattern in the background. So we'll grab out the morning mist. It's so interesting that periwinkle looks practically gray on the brown paper instead of blue. So I'm interested to see how that's gonna look against this morning mist. Ugh, looks about the same, but I'm not mad at it. Okay, again, just off the paper. Gonna create way more interest that way. And as much as possible, I'd like to do it off the paper, but onto another strip. Oh, that's fun. Since some of the ink didn't come off, it's got darker and lighter pieces. It's really nice. There's that. And that. Whoop. Throw some stuff around. Create some accidental extra texture. Yeah. Definitely did that on purpose. It wasn't just clumsy. I used to not be very clumsy, and now I'm very klutzy. All right, I kind of think I'm just gonna, I've got these tiny little suits, and I'm just gonna scatter them on my block here, and then apply them as randomly as I can make myself onto my strips. Just every kind of fun little bit and bob. I got letters for the king, queen, and jack and ace. That'll add, I think, some interest. Let's put the J up here and that down there. And this here. Okay. These are scattered as far as much as I feel like I can do. And now I'm just gonna ink this up lightly, and oh, that was a great idea. I feel like a genius. I'm not, but I'm still really proud of it and happy with the result. So, and the thing I'm trying to make myself do is turn it so that as I stamp them on, things don't land in the same orientation each time, because I want them to appear as randomly as possible on the paper. Okay. And the ink is hitting unevenly, which I love. And yeah, this is great. I'm very happy with the way that looks. Okay. Ooh. A lot of cleanup to do, because if I don't, there's gonna be ink everywhere. If I don't clean up this mat as I go, I swear, it's just a complete disaster. Let's cover up that ink before I stick my arm in it, which seems very likely. All right, I think that's good. And I'm gonna leave that, and I'm not gonna make you all wait and watch me pull each of those off on camera, because that feels like a lot. I will replace them back to their home later. All right, let's do the pocket watch as one of our main pieces. I can't tell you where these stamps are from. A lot of times I get things off eBay, things that people have used in the past, and it'll just be like a lot of stamps. That's actually how I've gotten most of my stamps. So that makes it a little bit harder to explain or provide a manufacturer or designer. Sometimes I find things cheap on Amazon from a brand that I can't pronounce or wouldn't remember. So it could be any of those things. It's very possible. I have on occasion ordered from Temu. I am not particularly proud of that, but you know, when sometimes the prices are a little too tempting, or you find something you just haven't seen somewhere else, and you know, it is what it is. So let's grab, ooh, I like this skeleton key with these hearts on the end. I think that'll look real nice. Okay. Oh, pretty. I think that's awesome, right? Yeah. I do want to actually, in some cases here, get most of the image, just because I want to be able to tell that it's a key when I'm looking at the strip independently. All right, line that back up. But I'm still trying to get bits and pieces off, or in some cases I don't press maybe quite as uniformly as I should, and I actually think that just adds to the charm of stamping. All right. Big red patch right there. I don't want to get all over. Okay. So we've got our keys and our clocks both represented. I might do a couple small keys. Or, ooh, no, wait, ooh. I like this lock. This is a nice little lock. Hey, girly, please don't get your tail in everything, particularly the ink. Ooh, 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 perfect. That's nice. Okay. Oh, I love these little ghost images when the ink's almost gone and it's just really pale. It sets it sort of in the background. It's really nice. Okay, so we've got plenty of locks and keys. Let's come back to our suits. And I like this spade. Oh, it's a little cat fluff. Not sure if the camera picked it up, but there was a weird little tuft of kitty cat fur soaring through the air just now. Oh, yay. Somehow got ink on there. I do that a lot. Yes. Where else do I want this suit? Ghost it up real fast. There we go. And I think that's it for the stamping, but I promised you splatter. So my distress sprays are not right here at the desk. Let me go try and rummage those out. All right, I got a big old bin. I've got a couple of different things in here. One is, I love these ink sprays from CSY Art Gallery. I'm not going to use those today. They're basically acrylic ink spray. They're fairly opaque. They are really wonderful. What color do I want? Fossilized amber, walnut stain, tea dye, uncharted mariner. I feel like blue fits with this, right? The white and blue that you get on a card suit just works. Shuffle those down and out of the way. All right. Now supposedly shake it up side to side rather than up and down to get better results. I am not afraid of mess since I make it all the time anyway without trying. I am a little bit just willing to spray. Plus I have this mat down here, but I mean, mess gets where it gets. I think that's it for spray. I'll wipe you down, put you down, and let's just take a look at the result. I mean, this is gonna dry up even more in a minute and look really great, but that is super pretty. I cannot wait to use it in a project. Same here. And like, you can't buy these. You can't buy these tape strips anywhere. That's not a thing that you can do. And so it's a really, again, great way to use up your little scrappy scraps of sticker paper to create one-of-a-kind tape, and even more so if you know you're making a journal project with a specific theme where you're going to be using those stamps and other elements, like to create, you know, little bits of ephemera, tabs, pages, what have you, like I'm going to do with the Wonderland stuff. Then I have things even more on theme than I could possibly purchase. So the next time you print something on sticker paper I highly recommend saving the little unprinted bits for a project like this, and then you will have your own beautiful, one-of-a-kind washies or sticker paper strips or whatever you want to call them, that are all your own. Thanks for watching.